Hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we are doing a free card class. You're going to get to watch how to make 4 really cute Valentine cards. Now they don't necessarily have to be Valentine cards. In the stamp set there are different sentiments, so you will be able to swap them out. So today's class is you will be able to get the card class that I'm doing today for free if you place a $50 order through my store, my online store, and I will send you all the bits and pieces to create these really adorable cards. Not only that, but you will get a $5 bonus coupon to redeem at a later time. So let's get started. We are going to be using the Valentine Kisses bundle, this really cute stamp set and the coordinating dies. Also going to be using the Heart of Love 3D embossing folder, super cute. And we're going to be using these lovely doilies. Now in your kit that you will receive, you will be receiving some of the doilies to work on your projects. So these are so adorable. So the flip sides are white, so if you wanted to change them to a different color, you could. But we have the real red, and then we have this really pretty pink, and there's 2 different sizes, and you get them in both colors. All right, so let's put this on the side, and let's start with our first card. So I'll put that on the side so I can see it. Oh, we are also going to be using the Stylish Shapes dies. So in your kit, you will get these pieces all die cut for you. All right, so let's move these over. And we'll get our little bits and pieces here. So we have everything that we need there. We're going to need the stamp set right now. So this is the new packaging for those of you that aren't aware. They come in these, I think it's like 6x9 envelopes. So what I had done was I had taken out the stamp set, I inked it up, and I stamped all of the images on a piece of scrap white cardstock. So when I go to put these stamps away, I can easily see if I am missing any of the stamps. All right, so we'll just peel that off. You're going to want to save this top layer because this will stick to the inside of the folder. So you don't want that. Because I have seen some where they do rip the folder, so you want to have that protection. Okay, so I'm going to move that out of the way. So we have our real red cardstock. Now in your kit, you will also receive via email the tutorial to create these cards, and it will have all the dimensions. You'll get pictures, and then you can always refer back to this video. All right, so we have our red. Now I had cut a piece of basic white, and I ran it through already to kind of save on some time, the Hearts of Love 3D embossing folder. So I did that for you. And you will get this piece embossed as well. So you don't have to worry about not having that particular folder. Okay, so we will start with putting this right on the front. And these are really quick, simple cards. Now we're going to take our doily and attach that here. Let's see, grab my silicone mat. Now you could take some liquid glue and go over all of it. I'm just feeling a little lazy right now, and I'm just going to put some seal on here. And we'll just put that right in the center. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so let's do some stamping. So we are going to, you're going to receive the little die cuts in your kit. The only die cuts you won't get are anything that are featured in the bundle. So any of these die cuts you won't get. So you will need the dies for that. Otherwise, you can always use whatever stamps that you have for Valentine's Day. All right, so I need my little bear. So we're gonna grab his little face, and I like to lay them flat and pick it up with a block. And then I would like my sentiment and giving you a big smooch. All right, and then we need these little lips. These little lips are so cute. We're gonna grab that, and we'll just set that on the big block for now. Okay, let's grab our black. And we will juice that up. Make sure he's covered. And we're just gonna put him like up towards the middle, but a little higher. There we go. And we'll dry that off. Clean it up. His little ear doesn't want to come clean. Okay, we'll leave him out because we are going to be using him again. Now we'll use our sentiment stamp. And then we'll stamp that right here at the bottom, giving you a big smooch. All right. Now, I would like to grab my little lips. We're going to use the real red. Now we are going to color him in, but I want to let the ink dry a little bit. All right, so we will grab the little lips. We'll put them on there. Take that sentiment off. And we're just going to put a couple little lips around the little bear. Isn't that cute? Okay. So I'll put that back so we don't lose it. Let's close this up and let's color our little bear. Okay, so we are going to be grabbing some blends. So we're going to use ivory and then light crumb cake. All right, so the ivory we will use to color inside his little ears and around his mouth. And then we'll just put a little right there. Now we're going to go back in with the light crumb cake, and we will finish coloring him in. He's so cute. His sweet little face. I'm just going to outline, you know what, I'm going to grab the other side. To the brush part, there we go, that works better. I'm just going to drag that over the ivory so it gives it just a little different color. Almost finished here. There we go. Cute. Oh, somehow I got red up at the top here. I don't know how I did that. That's all right. You probably won't even notice it. Okay, so we have that. Now we're going to grab some dimensionals. I'm grabbing the bigger ones. I'm just going to grab 4. We'll peel off the backs. So how has everyone been since the last time I seen you? You're going to put that right here. We are getting some super duper cold weather. Really cold. On the news they were talking about trees exploding. I've never seen such a thing, but apparently it is a thing. Okay, so I have my little heart that was die cut out from the dies. We're going to put a dimensional on there. And I'm moving it over to one side because it's going to butt up against this. There we go. Okay, so here we need to put our inside. Try not to get it to touch any other ink. There we go. So that one is done. All right, so here's card number 1. Here's my sample. So in your kit, you're going to make enough supplies to make 2 of these. And, oh, there goes my slipper. All right, let's move on to card number 2. Card number 2 is really sweet. Really sweet. So some of these cards are inspired from my friend Michelle. And I have some other ones here also. But, all right, so we have our pool party. And we're going to fold this in half. Just like that. We're going to be doing some blending on this card. Going to use some Wink of Stella. All right, so we have that. Now, let's get the inside of our card in first, just so that's one less piece on the table. Now you can go ahead and stamp whatever you would like on the inside. Let's press that down. Okay, so let's put this on the side and we're going to do some stamping. So I have a bunch of bits and pieces here already die cut out. So I did that ahead of time to kind of save on some time. And we're going to need this. Oh, and then you need the little heart. That's from one of the little hearts up here in the die. So we need that. We have our black, we have white, and then we have our doily. Now this is going to be going behind here, so we're going to be trimming that down so it fits on the card. I technically should have used the smaller doily, but I had already cut this, so we're just going to make it work. Okay, so we will stamp our images. So it has a little time to dry before we need to color. So we need a little bear head. So he's right there. Cute. And we need the jar. So there's a little jar. I probably should have these facing the other way. Where's the jar? Where's my jar? Here's my jar, so I need the jar, and then I need the little sign, so you want to grab that. All right, so the jar is going to be in black. Don't worry, it's not going to stay black. All right, now I need to get my crumb cake. And we're going to stamp our little sign. There we go. Okay, so we'll close this up, but before we put this away, I need to grab my blending. Let's see, this is a blender pen. So I want to color this, and I still have to stamp in here, but I want to color this and I want it to have some time to dry. I don't want the full color of the crumb cake, so I'm going to take the blender and I'm just going to go over it. And mine's a little on the drier side. I haven't used it in a bit. So it's just making it a little darker. So it's pulling the ink from your stamped image. There. Now we're going to let that dry. Okay, so you can kind of see it pulled in some of the color. It's not that stark white. All right. And we will, so it fits in my die machine, we'll just trim this. Okay, let's let this dry, and we will go on to some blending. So I need our white piece of cardstock, and again, in the tutorial, all the dimensions are there. I'm going to grab our pool party. Actually, I'm going to kind of keep that open. So I'm going to pick up some ink. That nice and juicy. And rub it up here. Just kind of blend it a little bit. Mush it all into those little fibers, the bristles. All right, I'm going to start in the middle, which I normally do not do. We're going to work our way out. Pick up just a little more ink in the middle, go out. I just don't want it to be super white. There we go. That should be good. If not, we could always add more. All right, get that out of the way before I make a big mess. Now what we're going to do is we will grab our red. So we're going to grab our little lips again. So we need the lips. And then we're going to need some X's and O's. And we'll just put that on my laptop for now. Okay. I need my real red. And we're going to stamp some of these little lips. There is no right place or wrong place for them. There we go. Clean this off, and then we'll grab our X's and O's. Put that back. All right, juice that up. There we go. Now try and be mindful when you're doing this to keep the center clear. Okay, will it be bad if you stamp closer in? No, but if you're looking to do it kind of like how I have it, then you'll want to go in a little bit or stay on the outsides. There we go. And you can always add after. Okay, so now we will close up the red. Okay, and now this should have dried enough where I can stamp what I want here. So I only need one word out of the sentiment, so I need to find this one. So he's in like a little, he's going to be in like a little kissing booth. We'll take, you know what, I'll take this one. So in here, and you probably can't see it, let me put it behind here. So this says bear hugs and kisses. So I only want the word kisses, okay? So I'm going to show you how I do that. And let's hope that it works. Okay, so I am going to be just using a sticky note, putting it over the top of some of the other words because I don't want that. I don't want them to show. Okay, now there's two other spots I need, so I'm just going to tear. So there's this little part here I don't want to show, so I'm going to block that. And then there's a little bit from that other word. I'm going to block that. So all we should see open is the word kisses. Okay, I'm going to juice that up. I know, don't freak out. We're going to take these off because I don't want them. And we're going to add kisses to our sign. There we go. So then this you want to throw out and not put it down like I did. I will have to wipe that. There we go. All better. Okay. We got, oh, that's kind of dry. All right, so now we will color these. So let's see, we will grab, this is light lemon lolly. We'll do the top of our jar. And then, so I forgot to bring some of these markers back home with me so I could do the video. I forgot to bring them back from the studio. So this morning it was a really cold walk to the studio. Super cold. So I'm hoping I didn't forget anything else. All right, so I got that. Okay. Then we are going to color Mr. Bear. So we're going to do kind of the same colors that we did last time. So we're going to use the ivory. We'll color his ears. And his little mouth area. All right, and we'll grab our light crumb cake. We'll color him in. My hands are shaking. I had a little too much coffee this morning. All right, color that. Almost there. Holy cats, am I shaking? Get the rest of his body there. And I think we got him. Nice. Okay. I'm just going to color a little bit of the bottom because I'm not sure exactly where the die will end. So there we go. Now we are going to, let's just put this on the side. We'll stamp our sentiment and then I can put away this black ink that's just like staring at me saying, I'm going to get all over your project. All right, so I'm going to grab the Happy Valentine's Day because I like Valentine's Day. We'll grab our block. So what does everyone do for Valentine's Day? Does anybody do anything? I know it's kind of like a Hallmark holiday kind of thing, but so my hubby and I have been together for well over 30 years. And we used to do stuff, and then it was kind of like, don't really do anything for Valentine's Day anymore. All right, so now I'm just going to snip the edges. So put in the comments what you typically do for Valentine's Day. Do you do Valentine's Day? Do you do Galentine's Day? Do you just do stuff with your friends? What do you do? Let me know. All right, so I'm going to cover this, put that on the side. Now we are going to die cut without losing our pieces. I'm going to die cut our little guys here. So we have the Stamp and Emboss machine. This is the mini. I like the mini for doing small projects, but if you're going to be using bigger dies or bigger embossing folders, you're going to want to get the bigger one. Okay, so we have this. We'll put that there. We need to get our dies. So I'll show you how I have my dies set up. So here's the envelope that they come in. I just took them out, and I have some magnet sheets, and I just put them on here. Super simple, and then they just slide right back into, oh, there should be 2 sheets. Magnets. Oh, no. Well, we'll make this, here it is. I just couldn't see it. All right, so we will line these up, and then I'll show you how I tape them down so that they don't slide when I'm die cutting. So I grab the trusty Post-it notes. I know you can buy Post-it note tape, but when there's the back to school stuff, I just stock up on Post-it notes. All right, so that should not move. Should not. All right, let's line up our next one. So we have our little jar, and that will help hold the other one as well. One more, and you can reuse these, so it's not like you have to pitch these right away. The adhesive on it does stay pretty well. Just gonna line that up. Now in the little crease here, in this little opening, you should be able to see where you stamped. All right, so then you carefully take your little tray here, grab your top, put over it, and carefully run it through. There we go. All that popping and cracking. Okay, put that on the side. All right, let's see how they turned out. So these I can use again. There we go. All right, so I'm going to put the dies back before I lose them, because that does happen. All right, there's my little jar, and here's my little bear head. There we go. So he's ready to go back. That I don't need. And we have our little pieces. Okay, so we are going to grab that little heart that came out from the center here. Okay, so I want to add that to my jar. I don't need a lot of glue, so hopefully this doesn't like go mental like it did last time. We're just going to put a little dot, maybe a little more. There we go. So it's a little dot of glue. And then we're going to grab our heart and put that right on top. There we go. I'm just going to take my scissors and try and center it just a little better. There we go. Press that down. Perfect. All right. So now we have all our little pieces. Let's put it together. Okay. So we are going to make our little kissing booth. So we have, where'd it go? Looking for my silicone mat. Here it is. Okay, so we're going to put a little adhesive on the back here. Just like that. All right, and then we'll put that right about here. And now with the liquid glue, you do have some time to wiggle things around. So we want to get this on rather quickly. And put a little, let's see what I'm doing here. Put a little more adhesive, a little more glue. Less is more sometimes. So now we're going to grab that and fit it behind. There we go. So let's slide things around. I had them under there. There we go, there we go, and down. So we're just gonna hold this down for just a quick second or two. Make sure it stays. There we go. Now let's grab our little bear, because we want to put him kind of tucked underneath that, so just a little more adhesive. And we'll slide him in, just like that. Now we have our little banner. Put some adhesive on there as well. So what's your favorite adhesive? Do you like the liquid glue? Do you like the seal? Do you like the, I don't know, whatever other kind of glue there is? What are your favorite glues to use? There we go. So that just goes right there. Isn't that cute? Love it. All right, so now we are going to add our little jar. Just a little glue on there. Yeah, little glue. There we go. Last time I did the video, I couldn't get it to stop oozing. Today, it just doesn't want to come out. All right, so we have that here. And now we have to put our kisses, our little sign on there. And let's put that, we're going to put it on like a little bit of an angle, so it's a little whimsical. There we go, just like that. Super cute. Isn't that adorable? I love it. Okay, so we have everything we need on here. Now we're going to attach it to our black. I'm going to use my seal. Okay, I'm glad nothing moved. Now let's put this on here. Kind of center it out. And again, all the dimensions, all the measurements will be in the tutorial that you will get. Okay, so now we need to work on getting this to go behind here. So I should have used the smaller doily, but I kind of grabbed the wrong one. So we need to do some ciphering. So we need to just kind of line this up, because I don't want the doily to hang off the edge, because otherwise it's not going to fit in the envelope. Okay, so we will put that right about here. Okay, so let's grab some liquid glue. Do I want liquid glue? Yes, I do. So, all right. So something tells me I need to trim this out beforehand. It's going to go roughly there. Okay, so now we have that on here. Doesn't matter how straight it is. because you still have a couple seconds to move it around. So this is probably the most backwards way of doing this. Just want to make sure it's not poking through the top or the bottom. All right, we'll grab some more of that glue to put it on here. And then we'll attach it to our card, and now my hands are all full of glue. It's great. All right, so this is going to go right in the center. Just like that. We'll go up a little bit. There we go. Yep, so that was the most backwards way to do that. So you flip that over and just press it out, because I don't want my gluey hands messing something up. Okay, so then we'll just hold this down, hold it down, hold it down. Now while we're waiting for this to get all happy here, we are going to take our sentiment and we're going to add some dimensionals on it. An adhesive that will not make your hands all sticky. See, I like the green glue, or the Tombow glue, whatever you want to call it, but it just makes such a hot mess sometimes. Okay, all the time. All right, we're just going to put that right down here at the bottom. All right, so here is card number 2. Aren't they cute? I think the little bears are so sweet. All right, so that's the second one. Now, card number 3. Card number 3. So we have our real red. We have our inside piece. We have our black. And you're going to get in your kit the squares, because you're going to need them. You're going to get the little label and some more squares. So let's do our stamping first. Let's put this on the side. Let's do our stamping. So we are going to need some little bear heads. Oop. All right, so we need him, but I need, because I don't want it going all the way to the bottoms, so I'm going to take my Post-it note and put it at the bottom. I want to cover it because I don't want the image to go all the way to the bottom. Okay, so we're going to put him right in there. Okay. So there is bear number 1. Let's do bear number 2. We're going to cover up the bottom that same way, just doing the edge. We'll grab a different bear. Let's see some of the other bears. Okay, I don't know if I'll need his little head, but I am going to need the bigger block. Okay, so we have this little bear. We'll put him on the block. Okay, now I don't need his full body covered. I just basically need his head. So I'm just going to do the top portion. Let me show you. I'm just going to ink up the top portion and put his little sweet face right there. All right, so we got that. Let's clean this and grab our other bear, other Mr. Bear. Right, I just am going to need his head as well. That there, we'll cover this, the bottom. And the reason I'm doing this is because I don't want the image to go on the little lines, the little outline. I want to keep that nice and clean. So I'm going to juice up his little face. Make sure it's covered and center him in there. Okay. So I'll take that off, and we are not coloring these little dudes. What else do we need to stamp? We need to stamp. I don't need any more black, so I'm going to put that away. And we'll grab our red because we want our sentiment on here. And we're going to use that same stamp that we used earlier with the hugs and kisses. I just got to find it. Is it on here? Is it on here? Did I lose it? There's this block, this block. He's on a block somewhere. There we go. Found it. Okay, so we're going to juice this up in the real red. Right in the center. Just like that. Okay, so we can close this up. And let's put these little dudes aside. We need our black. Okay, we are going to take, and I hope this works, because it did earlier. All right, so we have our Wink of Stella, and we're going to flick. So I know I've shown you how to flick before. So we are just going to flick, and it's going to give little sparkles. So you can flick this way, and I've seen people tap it. So either way you want to do it. I guess I like the flicking. I think it's a little more fun. Okay. He's flicked. Now we're just going to put this on the side and let that dry. We don't want to smudge it. And let's put our little bears together. Okay, so you're going to have these 3 sweet little bears. And we're going to attach them to the real red. So we are going to use just our seal. If you want to use your green glue, feel free. Just going to center them as best you can. Whoop. There we go. There's one. Oh, I got a little bit of Wink of Stella on there. Be extra sparkly. There we go. There's number 2. And let's do number 3. So if I had an extra square, I would restamp him because his ear's a little darker than the other one, but that's all right. So now we will grab our, I'll put these little guys aside. We'll grab our real red, fold that in half, press it down. We'll put our insert in. Now you can always stamp whatever you would like on there. Unless I'm working with like designer series paper or something, I tend to leave them blank so that people can write whatever they want on the inside. Okay, so now we are going to take, gosh, I hope that dried. We'll find out. All right, so we are going to just lay it right on here, add some adhesive, try not to let it wiggle. And we'll put that right in the center. There we go. Now I'm going to grab that same silicone mat. Just press that down. I don't want to get all that all over my desk. Okay, so now we have our little guys. We're going to add some dimensionals to the back. And then add it to the card. I'm sure you can kind of see where I'm going with this. Add as many or as little as you want. Okay. So again, don't forget, you can get this kit for free when you place an order at my online store. Let's see here. When you place an online order at my store for $50 or more, that's before any kind of coupons or codes that you have prior. And I will send this to you. And you get to make 8 cards. So you'll get all the little die cuts with the exception of like that last card. So if it's from the kit or from the bundle, like this stuff here, you won't get die cut, but you'll get like the little labels, the tags, you'll get everything else die cut. All right, so we are going to put their sweet little faces. So we'll put him up here. And I think we'll put this guy, because he's not looking in any particular direction. So put that here and there. And we'll put this guy down here. Okay, so I lucked out on that positioning rather quickly. All right, so just press that down. Super simple. Now we'll put some dimensionals on the back here. And attach this to our card. Whoop. And we'll just slide that in. And you can go ahead and add any kind of bling that you might want, but I think the little sparkle from the Wink of Stella, I think that does a lot for it. Okay, so here is card number 3. Card number 4 will go rather quickly. So let's see, I'll put that there. So we have our little pieces. So we have our card base. So we're going to take that and just fold that in half. I did the stamping and the die cut ahead of time for sake of time. I did the die or the embossing for this, so we'll put this right on the front of our card. So this embossing folder, unfortunately, will not fit in the mini Stamp and Emboss machine. So that's kind of why I really like the larger one. Okay, then we have our inside, so we'll grab that and put that on the inside so it doesn't get dirty. Well, it's always nice to have an inside so that you can have a nice surface to write something on. Okay, so now we have another doily. So this is the bubble bath doily, and this is the smaller of the 2 sizes. So we are going to put some adhesive on there. And put that just off to the side. Super easy. Just like that. Okay, we're going to put this on the side. We're going to stamp our sentiment. We'll do that. So let's see, we haven't used this one. So this one says, sending lots of love your way to celebrate this special day. So it could be a birthday card. It could be an anniversary card. It could be any kind of card. You just never know. All right, so I'll put that back. Let's grab this. We'll turn it this way, and we're going to use black, our basic black, or memento black. I don't know why I say basic black. Was it basic black at one time? I don't even know. Okay, so we will stamp right there. So I really hope you all take advantage of this, because this is such an adorable kit. Now, you could use the same layout and just use different sentiments if you don't want them for Valentine's Day. Because I know Valentine's Day is coming up but quick, so you could always use different sentiments. We are going to just angle this. And we're going to keep this until we know exactly how much space we need, because that's going to get tucked behind Mr. Bear. So let's move that. And let's color. And do a little bit of coloring. All right, so Mr. Bear, what shall we color you today? Maybe we could use the light pecan. Let's see, how does that work? Ooh, that would make them a little dark, wouldn't it? Okay, well, let's give it a try. We'll just go really light. Gosh, I am still shaking. What is the deal? No, he's a big guy, so I'm just going to go all the way down. And I'm going to show you something really cool with this dye that was used for Mr. Bear. I'm going to color him real quick. Okay. And what you could also do is grab your color lifter. I need to color his little face. Grab some color lifter. So it's much like the blender pen, but it removes color. So if you wanted to give him like some streakies in his hair or something, in his fur, you could do that. You could take some color away. It doesn't take it away completely. Oh my word, am I shaky? All right, no more coffee for me today. Good night. All right, so what do we got here? Okay, so we can just blend in a little more color here. And he'll dry and he will look so handsome. Okay, so he'll have a little lighter tummy. Okay, so let's color our little flowers. So we're going to grab, I think this is Daffodil Delight. And we'll put that in the center of our little flowers. Okay, then I have Granny Apple Green. We're going to color in some leaves. I'm so glad I remembered my glasses for these little tiny leaves. And if you accidentally color a petal of the flower, no one's going to know. All right, I'm going to grab our bubble bath. I'm going to use the dark bubble bath. I think I used the light on my sample, but we'll go with the dark. Well, that's fun. There we go. Now we need to color in, and this is the one marker that I had to go back for in the freezy cold. It was pool party. So we're gonna color in like the little paper wrap that's around the flowers. So my hubby will pick up flowers for me every once in a while, and he's so sweet. And he does it just because, it's not because of a birthday or a holiday or anything. He just gets it because he loves me. Okay, so I wanted to show you what the die does for cutting out Mr. Bear. So it obviously cuts out the entire body, but then it also cuts out his little arms. So you can slide your little bouquet underneath. Isn't that cute? And then it also comes out the bottom. There we go. Isn't that adorable? So you don't have to sit there with an X-Acto knife and try and get that to fit. I think that is so cool. So to get that to stay in place, you could pop a little thing of glue on there, but because I'm done being sticky with glue, I'm going to grab a dimensional and I'm going to put it on Mr. Bear and the little bouquet, and it's going to hold that in place. So that he is not going to go anywhere. I'm not losing those flowers for nothing. All right. Now we're going to take him and put him just right in the center here. Isn't he cute? All right. Now we have our label. And we will put some dimensionals on the back. All right, and so we do need to trim off just a little bit. And slide that just like that. There we go. Here is card number 4. All right, so let me pull out the cards and you tell me which is your favorite card. So we have, here's card number 4, if you can see them. Number 4. Here's number 3. Here's number 2. And here is number 1. All right. So, just to reiterate, if you're catching us late, you can get this card kit for free. You will get to make 2 of each of these designs, so you get a total of 8 cards. You can get it for free by simply just placing an online order at my store. I have the link attached in this video for $50 or more, and I will send you all the little bits and pieces to create these beautiful cards. The only things that will not be included will be the stamp set and the dies. Okay, so I will die cut out for you the stuff that I used for the labels and these squares. Anything that's related to the actual bundle, you will need to create that on your own. So it really only affects one card, and that's this card. So it's a little kissing booth. You will need the dies to do that. But everything else I will send to you. So you get the doilies, you'll get all the fun stuff. So that is all I have for you lovelies today. Thank you so much for joining me. I did just post our new monthly card club so for February, so that is out there. Be sure to sign up. You only have until the 19th of February to get that. And a lot of times the product kind of goes unavailable. So you're going to want to get in and get your order placed. All right. So again, thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of the day and God bless. Bye-bye.